Jefferson was a basketball player at a small college when his career was ended by a bullet that happened over a dispute on 25-cent piece of candy that shattered his leg. So at the age of 24, he became an amateur fighter, won a national title, and beat Michael Grant, and turned pro as late as 27.
Quite a contrast to the young man across the ring who turned pro at 17 and paid a heavy price for it with a lot of early losses. Here's a closer look at Maurice Harris.
Well, he was actually 16, Jim, when he turned pro, and had only had a few amateur fights. He needed to make some money. In the last 10 fights, he's only lost once, and that was a highly disputed decision to Larry Holmes. He has sparred both with Roy Jones and many rounds with Lennox Lewis.
In fact, more than 100 rounds sparring with Lewis before taking this fight on 5 days' notice. And logically enough, Harris says, hey, if I can stand in with Lewis, why would I worry about Derrick Jefferson? Tail of the tape for the battle between Jefferson and Harris. And just as Harris gives up a lot of size and weight to Lewis, so too will he be giving it up here. An 8-year age advantage for Harris. The height difference, 1 inch. Jefferson listed here as 6'5". He says he's 6'6". Reach equal at 80 inches, and the 35-pound weight advantage for Derrick Jefferson. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Jim, this is important. Tonight's fights will be scored using a new scoring system called the 10-point majority scoring system. And Jim, real quick as I see it, the way the fight is scored hasn't changed, but the way the 3 scores are totaled has been greatly upgraded. In this new system, you know, we take a consensus of the 3 scores, we evaluate a majority of the judges' scores, we come up with 1 score. So it's a lot fairer, and it should be a big improvement. Back to you, Jim.
All right, thank you, Harold. Let's go up to ring announcer Mark Barrow for the official introduction.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Convention Center on the Boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, for an evening of all-star professional boxing on HBO's Boxing After Dark. Under the promotion of Cedric Kushner Promotions, in association with Top Rank Incorporated, Fight Night, and Bally's Park Place in Atlantic City, as well as Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, this Bud's for you. Your matchmaker is Ron Scott Stevens. Tonight's bouts are under the auspices of the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, the commissioner in attendance, Larry Hazard Sr. All bouts are scored under a 10-point majority scoring system. The standing 8 count and 3 knockdown rules are not in effect. Ring officials assigned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. Your ringside physicians are Dr. Dominic Coletta, Dr. Jordan Garrison, Dr. Louis Sabatini, and Dr. Blair Bergen. Your timekeeper this evening is the Honest Art Spell. And counting for the knockdowns at the bell, the alternate referee, Eddie Cotton. This is your first contest of the evening. It is scheduled for 10 rounds, heavyweights. Your judges at ringside are, from Plainfield, New Jersey, Eugene Grant, from Langhorne, Pennsylvania, Alan Rubenstein, and from Kearney, New Jersey, Paul Venti. Your referee for this event, from Margate, New Jersey, the sensational Steve Smoger. Introducing now the principals. First, in the red corner to my left, wearing the red trunks with the blue and white trim, he weighs in at 211 pounds. His professional record reads 16 victories, 9 defeats, 2 draws, and 9 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Newark, New Jersey, introducing Maurice Mobetta Harris. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, gold accessories, he weighs in at 246 pounds with a professional record that reads 21 victories, no defeats, 1 draw, and 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Detroit, Michigan, introducing Derrick Jefferson. Jefferson, 10 rounds, heavyweights.
All right, gentlemen, we're giving you instructions at the weigh-in. I want you to obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times, and respect the bell. Touch him up. Touch him up. Thank you. Thanks, Mark.
Harris started his career 11 years earlier than Jefferson. Jefferson is the bigger, stronger man. Which is more important?
I think experience would be the most important factor here tonight.
Meaning that you think that Maurice Harris's dossier of experience, not just in the ring, but in sparring with fighters like Roy Jones and Lennox Lewis, is going to stand him in good stead here?
Well, it does stand him in good stead. Actually, it puts him in a better position because he's seen the best of the best in action right in front of him. But you can't put the heart in a guy, and you can't put the courage, and you can't put the will to go 10 rounds or 12 rounds on a guy.
Well, quick left hook by Harris.
3 good shots by Harris. Jefferson responds by jumping right in. That's supposed to be his greatest attribute. He's a real athlete. He's real eager. Has a good attitude. We'll see how good his chin is.
One of those shots did hurt him, and he's walking too forward. And he's walking forward too straight up right now to come at Maurice. If Maurice continues to hit him with this straight right hand, one of them is going to hit him sooner or later.
2 real wise old heads in the corners for these fighters. Derrick Jefferson has been working for the past couple of years with Bill Miller, who used to train James Toney, trained a cruiserweight titleist named Lindell Holmes, a guy who isn't as big name as some of the other trainers in the sport, but does a great job. Likewise, Tommy Parks in Maurice Harris's corner is somebody who really knows the ins and outs of the sport. And now Jefferson, who got clocked early by Harris's left hook, is coming back with some big shots of his own.
He's throwing some good body shots on the inside. He's doing very good body work. And Lindell Holmes, coincidentally, Jim, was a super middleweight champion.
Super middleweight, excuse me. 168-pounder.
Right. A superb 168 pounder.
What did I say? I called him a cruiserweight?
Yeah.
This is very good
Sorry,
action
Lindell.
for big men. Give and take. Go, both of them going for it.
Both of them throwing bombs.
So what about the giant weight difference here? I mean, Jefferson, 35 pounds heavier than Maurice Harris. If they trade shots, it has to be to Harris's disadvantage, Roy.
No, boxing is different when it comes to these guys because Maurice is a big puncher for his weight. What's going to make a difference is when they're inside pushing and grinding. That's where the weight will make a difference. That'll weaken Maurice a little bit more than it will Jefferson because Jefferson's the bigger man.
Bout is scheduled for 10 rounds. Jefferson says that the biggest confidence builder for him was to win a tough split decision over the course of 10 rounds with Obed Sullivan. That was bigger to him than his second round knockout of Burt Cooper. Harris, of course, recently stepped up in class with an easy 10-round decision over Jeremy Williams. Another fight which he took on relatively short notice. That time he had 10 days to get ready. This time only 5.
Every time Harris has hit Jefferson, Jefferson has jumped right back in his face.
Jefferson's career, coming off of football and basketball and taking up boxing relatively late, mirrors that of Michael Grant, far more celebrated, much better known at this point. And Jefferson had a win over Grant, along with a win over Lawrence Claybay back in the amateurs.
There again, it seems as though his hard work is what made up for his lack of experience.
He has determination. By CompuBox numbers in round number 1, Jefferson landed 13 of 68 and Harris 13 of 34. So an equal number landed, but Jefferson threw twice as many punches.
That's a sign of Maurice Harris being economical because he has experience, and Jefferson using the hard work to make up for it.
Let him out, Mo. Let him out.
A very smart thing that Jefferson is doing is going to Maurice Harris's body. Harris should go to Jefferson's body every chance he gets.
Oh, sizzling left hook by Jefferson, and Harris
goes down.
5, 6, 7.
Those body shots helping to set up the left hook and the knockdown. Harris turns and mouths something to Roy Jones, trying to indicate that he's okay, but Derrick Jefferson with a big opportunity. Minute 21 still to go in round 2.
Does Jefferson have the experience to know how to exploit that knockdown and a dazed Harris?
Maybe he does, but the thing is for Jefferson not to punch himself out, because punching himself out is the biggest danger that he's at right now. But he's smart.
The body very nicely.
He's looking for an opportunity to go to the body and set something up. And that's a good way to finish. Uppercut landed. Harris goes down again.
And he doesn't look like he's going to make it, but here he comes again. He is hurt seriously.
Well, he's badly hurt, and those body shots are making it even worse.
Steve Smoger is going to let Harris have a chance to continue. 30 seconds left. And down goes Jefferson on a Harris right hand.
Left himself open, trying to finish the show, and Harris, showing his own grit, gets him.
That's that experience.
But
what a comeback by Harris in the closing seconds of the round.
It's more than experience. We're seeing guts, spirit.
Harris almost went down again.
Yeah, he's out. He's out again.
And the round comes to a close.
That's the best heavyweight round we have seen since when? Bo and Holyfield, maybe.
A long time. Well, I saw plenty of people on the far side of the ring who were waving for Steve Smoger to stop the fight after the second knockdown. He didn't do so, and it turned out to be a good call when Harris knocked Jefferson down himself.
Steve Smoger is a very smart, experienced referee.
These guys did some damage in that round.
Well, now we're going to see who's in great condition, who has recuperative powers. Here's the first knockdown of Harris as he comes up with a huge left hand. Harris learned how to fight in the School of Hard Knocks, losing all 7 of his fights. Losing 7 of his 8 fights before he's 20 years old, and he has shown that he has learned from the School of Hard Knocks.
The way Harris got caught is he relaxed after he punched.
Harris using the uppercut there to help set up a right hand that lands. Jefferson grabbing and holding.
Pull out and sit down.
Vicious shots by Jefferson. The left hook landed.
Jefferson is just a force in the ring.
Right.
He may not have all the skills in the world, but he just wants it.
I'll tell you what one advantage of his is right now. When they come together, there you see Maurice's head is dead still. Jefferson continuously moves his head left and right. Therefore, it's harder for Maurice Harris to land a punch against Jefferson than it is for Jefferson to land against Mo.
Good left hook to the body by Harris in that sequence. Jefferson committing to every punch upstairs. Trying to make every one the finishing blow. Good left hook to the body again by Harris.
You hit me and I'll hit you.
It would appear that Tommy Parks urged Harris between rounds to try to get to Jefferson's body and sap some of his power. Right hand shot lands for Harris. Jefferson keeps on coming.
And Jefferson has a humongous heart.
This is what we're looking for in the new heavyweight crowd. Guys who are hungry to win.
Oh, that hurt his body very bad, but he comes right back again.
Harris has landed 3 sizzling left hooks to the body in this round, and every one of them has been a telling blow.
He has to be careful with that shot, though. That's what enabled him to get hit with a left hook, because his head is straight up when he's throwing that body shot sometimes.
Harris hiding the right behind his shoulder and then trying to explode in the face of Jefferson. Jefferson, who had the reputation as a right-hand puncher coming in, has shown you that his left is just as dangerous.
if not more dangerous.
Step, guys, step, step. Hands up, hands up.
Oh, and he's out.
Uppercut, vicious uppercut by Jefferson. Harris wobbling again. That uppercut landed so flush, you wonder how Mo stayed up.
Time. Give me a wash. Give me a quick
Boy,
wash. Come on.
I sure thought he was out.
Well, I think Harris is getting a break here. I don't know if he spit that mouthpiece out to give himself time,
No, he got that mouthpiece knocked out.
but he is getting a real break here.
Tremendous break. In the closing seconds of round number 3, with Harris wobbling and in trouble, he gets a chance to wait for a clean mouthpiece. And who knows how critical a role that played in helping Harris to survive the round.
It was a good punch coming in that knocked Jefferson down. But Jefferson landed a beautiful uppercut in that last round.
Which sent the mouthpiece flying into row 7. 4th round begins. From the early action in this one, you suspect that the Harold Letterman scorecard and the official scorecards will be academic. Hard to see how this is going to go the distance, the way they're flailing away in there.
Well, I tell you what, because Jefferson has such good punching power, that weight is beginning to be a factor too. He should be able to take Maurice's punch a little bit better than Maurice can take his.
Harris came into the fight totally dismissing Jefferson. He said that he has nothing that he hadn't seen before, didn't respect him, couldn't find anything good to say about it. I think he might have
one of the first times in the sport that the guy with 9 losses thought that the unbeaten guy was unworthy of facing him in the ring. But that's the kind of guy Harris is.
Well, that's why you never underestimate anybody, though.
little fatigue showing here.
Jefferson trying to pound that uppercut again. Harris sticks a left hook in Jefferson's face. Jefferson keeps coming for the moment, then backs up.
He seems like he's hurt.
That was very strange.
His instinct when he's hurt is to move forward, which is what you look in any fighter.
Mouthpiece gone again. I think that's Harris's mouthpiece again.
It is.
Yeah, because Jefferson's wearing a black one, isn't he?
Yep. Right there is when Maurice gets caught. Throwing that left hook, his head is straight up, and Jefferson knows how to time it.
This is a proper moment for Smoker to get the mouthpiece back into Harris's mouth.
Oh, you got to bite down, baby. You got to bite down. Just keep coming out. I know. You got a better piece for him? Put it in there. Okay, baby, come on. Time, baby.
Now round 4 resumes after the second episode of Harris getting a break to restore his mouthpiece. And this time, if anybody benefited, it might have been Jefferson.
Jefferson throws good punches on the inside. He has a beautiful uppercut that's very powerful. Oh, good body shot.
Jefferson was so excited about the opportunity to fight on HBO. He said he'd be walking through a wall if necessary to win this fight because he wants to fight on HBO from now on.
Rick, that's me. Come on.
He's put a lot into it in the first 4 rounds, but Maurice Harris has survived it.
Rick, don't punch, don't punch.
So will this evolve into a boxing match that favors Harris's quicker hands? Round 5 begins. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 4 of a scheduled 10?
Jim, I tell you, I got a 3-1, 39-37 Derrick Jefferson. I get the first round to Maurice Harris. I thought he landed the cleanest shots. And certainly he came back and he hurt Derrick Jefferson at the end of the second round. So I called it 10-9 as opposed to 10-8. You know, I tell you, Maurice Harris is a very, very slick guy. And Derrick Jefferson is throwing those punches so hard, I think his arms are starting to tire, Jim. He's one of these guys with big muscles, big shoulders, and he uses a lot of energy to throw a punch.
Harris landing a straight right and a left hook.
I scored the second round at 10-8.
One knockdown canceled another, but that still left Derrick Jefferson with a knockdown, which would have given him a 10-8 round.
Yeah, I tell you what, this weight is beginning to be more and more of a problem too.
Well, I think he's not giving Harris a chance to establish the kind of nice rhythm that a boxer, puncher like him wants.
Well, that's what he has to do because he's the most inexperienced of the two guys, so he has to make it a hard-working fight for Harris. If he lets Harris do what he wants to do, that's what's going to happen. He can't allow Harris to do that if he wants to win this fight. He has to not let Harris stay there and get off as he pleases.
Oh, good right hand.
Great right hand flush by Harris. Jefferson walked right through it.
A lot of that is because of the weight differential.
Exactly. So as good as Maurice Harris is, Roy, I'm wondering if we'll ever see a fighter under 220 pounds win the heavyweight title again. Good left hook to the body by Harris. Jefferson, 245-pounder, gripping with the uppercut.
Yeah, a fighter under 220 pounds can win the heavyweight title again. And Harris is not out of this fight yet.
Oh no, he can win it.
It's just going to take a lot of digging down because Jefferson is a good fighter and he's a big fighter.
Don't punch, step out, Mo, step out.
Harris was willing to trade with Jefferson back in round one, but after the fireworks in round two, Maurice has satisfied himself to land one punch at a time and then get out of the way ever since then.
Well, he learned to respect Jefferson's power.
Step back, hands up, guys.
Round five comes to a close. Maurice Harris got his shot to beat Jeremy Williams a few months ago when Hasim Rahman dropped out of the Williams fight, or actually refused to sign the contract to fight Williams. A lot of people were startled by that. Rahman has bided his time. Tonight he'll be fighting Oleg Maskaev, limiting the opportunities for a great light heavyweight champion to do what so many great light heavyweight champions have done in the past, move up to the heavyweight division. It was one thing when Bob Foster and R.G. Moore were moving up to fight 210-pound fighters. It's quite another thing, Roy, for somebody like you at 175 to consider trying to fight a 245-pounder.
Yeah, you're right. Especially at 5 foot 11 inches.
Doesn't make enough sense. CompuBox numbers through the fifth round. Total of 145 punches have been landed, and only a handful of them were jabs. This is a power shot exhibition. Jefferson throwing far more punches than Harris. In fact, more than 100 more through the first 5 rounds. So in terms of activity, the fight has belonged to Jefferson. Harris has been slightly the more accurate puncher. Pace of the fight slows as both fighters have gone to the body enough in the early going to wear the opponent down somewhat. Hard right hand to the body there by Jefferson.
And Jefferson is slowly but surely trying to wear Maurice Harris down now. Maurice's arms seem heavy, and he seems like he doesn't want to work much because I think his arms are a little tired.
Yeah, he's trying to slow the fight down.
Right hand shot landing for Jefferson there. Harris has taken a lot of leather in this fight. Saw Maurice double up on the jab a moment ago. It could have been a big weapon for him if he got it going. The box behind it. But Jefferson ended that with his power punches early, and now Harris goes down again.
It was a left hook inside on the ropes.
He won't expect this time.
7, 8. Now, all right, baby. You made it. You made the count, baby. You made the count. You made the count.
Harris comes in with his hands down. Jefferson makes him pay with a leaping left. 30 seconds left, and you wonder if Mo Betta can get out of the round.
Here he comes back.
Harris showing gumption with that left hook to the body, and he lands a left hook. And now Jefferson wobbles again.
Can Jefferson come back? Can he stay on his feet?
That's it.
Oh, what a left hook shot. No count necessary.
Derrick Jefferson, I love you.
Oh, my gosh. Roy, what a shot.
What a shot. Same thing. That left hook, Derrick Jefferson kept timing Maurice's left hook because Maurice's left head stays straight up in the air when he throws the left hook. And Jefferson timed that from round one. And once the fight got late and it got slow in the fight, you knew he would catch Maurice again with that left hook.
This was one of the sizzling knockout punches of recent years in the heavyweight division. Derrick Jefferson ripping the night apart with a left hook to separate Maurice Harris momentarily from his senses, and we hope only momentarily. Mo talking now to those around him. At least 2 doctors on the scene. And Jefferson trying to catch his breath from the sensational action in that fight.
You know, we think that Harris is fine. He's nodding. He's answering the doctor's questions. But I have to tell you, this is just one of the best heavyweight fights we have seen in this decade. Jefferson, even though he is 31 years old, has shown such fierce determination that we are going to see more of him and perhaps much more of him.
Here's a look at the first knockdown, and you saw the left hook that started it all. Jefferson stepping in with Harris against the ropes and pounding that left hook to the face.
And he knew how to close the show, Roy. He went to the body when nothing else was open, and that left hook was just good night.
And just as I said, he timed Maurice's left hook. Watch Maurice's left hook come back because he knew Maurice was straight up throwing the left hook, and there it was.
And he was hurt, Jefferson.
Yeah, he was hurt.
He was hurt.
Good night, Maurice. Jefferson is a power puncher. And that left hook is a weapon.
A big weapon.
Now remember, the guy who just got knocked out by Derrick Jefferson came into this fight off 100 rounds of sparring with Lennox Lewis. The 4th time that he has spent a training camp with Lewis. Maurice Harris is Lewis's #1 sparring partner, and Harris was, if anything, overconfident coming into the fight, figuring if I can stand in against Lennox, why would I worry about Derrick Jefferson? Now he knows.
Never underestimate an opponent.
The applause is for Maurice Harris getting up. Dr. Dominic Coletta finally satisfied that Harris was good enough to make it. And now let's go to ring announcer Mark Barrow for the official particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes, 52 seconds of the 6th round. The winner by a knockout and still undefeated, Derrick Jefferson.
Everybody in Detroit watching this fight. I can't get y'all name by law, y'all Pete. Down there in Riceboro, Georgia. Big O. Fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice hand for a really valiant effort?
Final punch stat numbers from CompuBox. Total punches, 98 out of 302 for Jefferson, almost all of them power shots. Harris likewise throwing mostly power shots and landing 79 out of 167. The big difference in the bout, the outlandish punching power, at least what was displayed here tonight was outlandish, of Derrick Jefferson. Weight showcase that should